Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome back to another live wrap up. We're wrapping up 2 months this time. It's going to be a great show. I'm excited to spend it with all of you. And we got our crew here. We got our live crew first, as always, the OG of the live crew, Joey C. What are you?
Oh, hey,
Joey
how
C,
are you?
Were you trying
Good.
to? Were you?
No, I was checking the chain on the chainsaw, make sure.
Oh,
Yeah, just everything looks and functions
okay.
good. We're here. We're back. It's been a while, Tony.
Joey, see, I just want to say, I know the bit was that you're cutting your balls off or something. Why do you own a child's chainsaw? Like, that's very obviously like a child's
I was at Home Depot and I saw it and I was like, I fucking have to have this. Are you fucking serious? It was $75. I had
okay. And of course, we have Gil. Hello, Gil.
Oh, hi. I was just checking the time on my old-fashioned pocket watch here. I just looked around for the only prop I could find. I was like, I haven't done this in a while. I forgot we're supposed to have a funny prop at the beginning.
Guys, I didn't expect this to happen so early, but we have a surprise guest here. A celebrity, actually.
Really?
You might have heard of the new hit show, The Yacht Life, on the Design Network. And here she is, the host of the show, Captain Boo. Hello, TV star. There you are.
Ahoy, hoy. Yes, that's me.
Yes. If you guys didn't know, Captain Movies has a TV show that she didn't tell me about.
What?
Didn't tell me about till the day
Tony
before.
wasn't the first person you called?
No big deal, you know.
Yeah. And by the way, Captain Movies, Adam is in the chat. The guy you thought was an asshole. Will he be on your show at some point?
Oh, you know, I only if I can drown him.
Yeah, I want to say congratulations on your show. And guys, if you wonder why I'm not on the show, it's because yachts are expensive. What's a way I could get a yacht, Joey C?
Well, Tony, the great way to get a yacht is for super chats, folks. If you want me or the crew to whisper sweet nothings to you, send a super chat within reason, please. This is the internet. We can't get canceled.
Yes. And everyone, send a $50 super chat saying, good job, Captain Boomies. It's the only way she'll get. But yeah, wait. When was this even shot? I had no idea when this was even shot.
I filmed this in 2024. It got edited and now it's a thing. And
year.
It turns out the Design Network is actually a real channel. It's like channel 1 million on cable, but it's there. And I
have the Samsung TV Plus, so I have it there.
Oh,
yeah, it comes free with your Samsung TV Plus. No, that was cool as hell. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you so much. I haven't watched any of the movies you're about to review, so you can kick me off anytime. But I love you guys, and I appreciate you,
Captain. Why would I kick you off? Is it because people have been saying that you're now more famous than me? Well, I'm glad Captain came to the show. I was glad she stopped by. Oh, sorry. What was that again? The Design Network?
The Design Network, channel 1 million. And the show is called The Yacht Life. Just go look for the Design Network and then you can stream it from their website. You don't even have to have cable.
And if I get a yacht, I will be on it, but Adam will never be on it. So, it's something to look up.
You don't need a yacht to watch the show, though. That should be made clear.
All right. Goodbye, Captain.
Cheers.
Cheers. I like that we started the show with one guy's like sawing off his legs, and then she's like, I'm going to drown Adam. That's a good start.
Oopsie daisy.
Oh, man. So, yeah, what a fun couple months. Sorry we didn't get to do it last month. It got very, very busy. I was busy doing a lot of things. I was on the Reviewing History podcast, and I'm told out of the 3 people from Hack the Movies who's been on, I was the best.
Yeah, my favorite part of this, I start listening at the beginning, and you're like, yeah, I know Gil was on your show, Crystal was on, and I'm not sending my best from Hack the Movies. And I'm like, okay, now they're going to defend me. And they go, well, the Crystal episodes were good.
That's fucked up, man.
Also, I told Gil is never allowed to be uncomfortable when I tell an edgy joke again after listening to him. The episode he was on, I'm like, what? Gil was, what an asshole.
I wanted to test myself. I was like, I'm so good at avoiding controversy. Let me pick the most controversial topics possible and see if I can wade through those waters.
By the way, so for all of you who wanted me to do David Lynch, we did David Lynch's The Straight Story, which is about the story of, I think, Alvin Straight, who drove across country. Well, not country. Goddamn, that would have been impossible. He drove across state to visit his dying brother on a tractor because he couldn't legally drive. It's a very beautiful movie. Although, as I said in the episode, I think in real life, I would have hated this old man and considered him a burden to everyone. Also, I don't understand what happens. I worked so hard the last, however many years to be Tony from Hack the Movies. And this show labeled me Antonio, proper Christian name, Antonio Peluso. And I'm like, other than Cameo, I don't go by that. But I was like, oh, that's a one-time thing. And then I'm going the freaking Zach and Nico's Midnight Spook Show, and I'm Antonio Peluso again. You're One Take Gill. He's Manny Muskets. I'm not Tony from Hack the Movies on the Midnight Spook Show. What happened here?
You should stop introducing yourself that way. You're always like, I'm famous, Antonio Peluso.
No, I've literally never done that. Yes, the Midnight Spook Show. We did the horror of Party Beach. If you guys are Mystery Science Theater fans, you've probably seen that movie on that show. We had a great time at the Gas Digital Studios. Manny Muskets got to bump into oh god, who was it? Who did he bump into?
I don't remember him bumping into anybody.
The comedian who was there, Louis J. Gomez.
Oh yeah.
He bumped into Louis J. Gomez, who Manny harassed on Twitter a bunch last year. So it was funny seeing them in the same room.
I was wondering what the tension was in the room. It was really awkward.
Because Manny kept saying, I'm going to tweet you every day until I get invited to Skagfest. And it eventually annoyed Louis J. Gomez. And I think Manny took a selfie in the Gas Digital bathroom and then tweeted it to him. But yeah, that was a really, really great time. Afterwards, we went to Gebhardt's. And this was just for the WATP fans. I know Gil and his brother were very confused. And some of the people who tuned into the live stream had no idea what we were doing. So Opie from Opie and Anthony has alienated all the talented people that he was involved with. And he's become the worst broadcaster. And he regularly goes to this bar and just live streams with just losers talking about nonsense. So, of course, me and Manny were like, well, while we're in New York, we got to go to Gebhardt's and do the exact same thing. So it's on the Clips and Stream channel. We're just acting like obnoxious assholes.
And every 10 minutes, the camera will turn to me for a second. Just looking really confused.
Yeah. The funny part is when your brother came in, you went, don't worry, it's not on the main channel. I'm like, are you asshole? But yeah, we had a really, really great time at Gebhardt's. I've been having a great time everywhere. We went to Batman Day at the Mahoning Drive-In. John from TV Show Cars was there. He's the one who lent us the Batmobile for that episode. Nice. I got to meet Justin from Epic Film Guys. Frank came out wearing a Superman shirt to the Batman Day event.
Nice. How would he do that?
I have no idea, but do you guys like this backdrop? I now have a giant backdrop of my scene from The Dark Knight Rises. And the opposite side is the video store. And I made the backdrop the right size because I was like, my tent is 10 by 10. So I'll make the backdrop 10 by 10. Not realizing 10 means the very top of the canopy where you don't hang things. So now I have this comically large backdrop that I need to fold and everything before I prop up because I didn't think to build the tent and take measurements before I designed the thing and ordered it.
Yeah, the issues you deal with in your life are very unique. I feel
they are very unique.
I was trying to print out a picture of myself. What kind of myself? I'm like a little
pixel.
I run into unique things. By the way, the most miraculous thing, I found a Lazarus pit and I brought Pedro back to life for one weekend. Pedro was back to life, but then he went crazy and he poisoned the Mahoning Drive-In's water. So I had to crash him and his train. He was on a train, by the way, into a building to stop him. So Pedro is now dead again.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
And you didn't kill him, But you didn't have to save him.
I didn't have to save him. I
And those aren't
didn't
the
have
same
to
thing.
save him. It's a totally different thing. Technically, I think, you know what? I have a Batman Begins episode. Just watch that. I explained it. Speaking of Mahone and Drive-In, next week is the big weekend. VHS Fest 8, baby. We will be there. It's going to be a great time. I hope to see a lot of you there. Please consider signing up for Patreon. We got some great merch that goes out every few months. We got commentary tracks to buy if you don't want to become a pledge, including our Friday the 13th album, which Joey C is on.
That's right, baby.
We did the 7th movie together.
Boy, did we.
And also up on Patreon is the Tales from the Hood episode I did with Manny Muskets. It's a good time. We already plugged this girl's show. Let's get into the movie, shall we?
Let's do this.
Thunderbolts Asterix, the new Avengers. Thunderbolts.
So we're doing spoilers. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been out for 2 months and already flopped. The Thunderbolts is a really good movie that's easy to follow if you watched these 3 things: Black Widow, Ant-Man the Wasp, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, every Captain America movie, and every Avengers movie. And if you've done those things, it's a real easy movie to follow. Gil, I know you've done that.
Yeah.
You've seen all those.
It also wouldn't hurt if you've watched Hawkeye. There's Florence Pugh's characters in that too.
That's true.
Crucial backstory.
It tells the story of Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld being investigated by the government. She tries to get all of her dirty work and everything into one location to destroy it all at once, which of course are her team that have been doing black op missions for her. They stumble on a guy named Bob, who is one of her failed experiments, who wakes up. He turns out to be, they get out of there. There's a big mystery. It turns out he was a prototype for a superhero called Sentry, but it didn't work really well because he also turns into the Void because they decided to make a meth head a superhero. Now, I just kicked a meth head off my show, and the last thing I'm going to make Vito Gesualdi is a superhero, not on my watch. So yeah, he's able to send you into the void. There's cool powers. They're a ragtag group of people. They're all misfits. It ties into the major MCU. But I think for me, it works pretty well. It's a fun, decent movie. It looks like a movie.
It does. I know.
It doesn't look like a million green screens, even when it was green screened. It didn't look like obvious green screens and horrible digital backdrops. It looked like actors were there in front of cameras. How did you feel about the movie, Joey C?
I thought Bob was fucking awesome. I'm glad that the one comic book character I wanted back. Bob is the man. The Void is menacing. How the fuck could you defeat the Void? That was so awesome. And
With
it was
the power
really
of friendship.
Yeah,
clearly, yeah. I did think it was a little too long, though, to be perfectly honest. After the jet fighting scene, I was like, all right, this has got to be the fucking the finale. I gotta piss. And then there's 25 more minutes after that. So I did think it ran a little too long. They could have cut it down a little bit. But other than that, it was a fun watch, man.
Yeah. Gil, what did you think?
I actually feel like it either could have been longer or at least they could have sort of reallocated the time, because I feel like the Void was very menacing and you are like, wow, how do you defeat him? But you're only wondering that for 12 seconds until you realize, oh, he's not killing people. He's just sending them to this to shame rooms. So I would have loved to, I love the design of this character. He looks like before Brave New World came out, they released that one image of the leader where he was all in shadow except for his glowing eyes.
Yeah.
And here they actually do it in the movie and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
I just wish we could have lived with, what are we going to do about this guy for a little bit longer before it just goes to, oh, that's what we're going to do. But otherwise, I feel like they went back to the winning formula for Marvel. Likable characters.
Yeah.
Interacting with each other and fighting bad guys, or in this case, worse guys. It was just a good movie.
And they apologize for ruining Taskmaster by killing them. They're like, hey, remember when we did Taskmaster and it sucked?
Yeah.
We're just going to shoot her in the face. And I'm like, oh. Everyone knew she was dying. There wasn't a single person who thought they were going to make it out of it. I didn't expect her to get off that quick, though. Sorry, I look like you were about to say something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it really I think I remember hearing that there was some storyline between her and Ghost that got like cut out of the movie.
That's
and
what I
feel
heard,
like
too.
it really
Yeah.
stands out because Ghost is the only one aside from Taskmaster who gets virtually no character development in this movie. Which wouldn't be a big deal if there was like a bunch of supporting characters and she was just disappearing into that crowd. But everyone else gets like flashbacks and you find out what's eating at them.
Yeah.
And she's just there the whole time.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they like what's his face can touch you and make you like see like your most shameful moment or whatever. But yeah, he never does that to Ghost. I wonder why that is. Also,
people like Joey, the movie's too long. Cut it out.
Yep, that's fucking
I gotta
right.
go pee.
Literally. My
Ghost feels
slushie's
like
gone. I gotta
Ghost
go.
feels like a weird one. I don't know why they felt the need to put her back in it. I mean, she was fine in Ant-Man 2, but I don't think anyone cared that much. But I think we could all agree that the new Marvel was totally nuts and people are losing their minds over it. Their minds are literally blowing up. It's super nuts. I decided when I reviewed Friendship, every Marvel review, whenever I clip it, it's gonna be like the new Marvel is totally nuts. So I like Marvel Comics. I'm more of a DC guy, so I didn't know. I knew the Thunderbolts existed, and I knew it was a rotating team. I think like in 2006 when I was like reading Civil War, I think like the Scorpion with the Venom suit was in the Thunderbolts around that time. So I looked up the original. The Thunderbolts were first presented to readers in the Incredible Hulk 449 by Peter David, who died recently. And then Marvel did a whole thing like, we're remembering Peter David. And then everyone told Marvel, they're like, you didn't give him enough money from his residuals. And he like died not being able to afford medical bills. And Marvel went, la, 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 la. Anyway, so there were a team of heroes who stepped in to fill up the gap when the Avengers were declared dead. So that kind of fits with the comics and the movie. But then it turns out that they were actually bad guys in disguise, which is not like the movie. They are bad guys, but they're becoming good guys, I think. Pretty much.
Anti-heroes, right? They've all done bad things.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie did a good job of straddling the line where they've obviously done bad things and they don't go into explicitly explaining like, here's the way I'm damaged and why I do these things. But they do some of that, but not so much that it's like on the nose.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think it's a good time. What did you think of the publicity stunt with the new Avengers title?
I do like the billboard bit they were doing. That was pretty funny.
That was kind of fun.
Terrible kept secret though.
Yeah, that was really dumb. I don't think this is going to be the Avengers team. I think that was literally a way to get people to come back for the second week. I think Marvel knew that maybe the first week, because they've been having bomb after bomb after bomb. They're like, all right, the first week might not do well, but if we do this gimmick where after the first week we say it's the new Avengers, people might rush out. And spoiler, I don't think people rushed out to see this. I don't think it did super well financially. Story-wise, it's great. It's probably one of the better. I really don't count Wolverine and Deadpool to you guys. That feels like it's its own thing.
No, and I think like
it's one thing.
Yeah, I think most people feel that way too. Like even if they don't know it explicitly, it just feels like a different thing, and everybody puts it in the category of like, oh, that's the X-Men stuff.
Yeah. So when it comes to like Marvel movies, I guess it's the best one since Guardians 3.
Yeah,
I thought was all right.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's a shame that like they finally put out a good one and then no one freaking sees it. Is this the end for the MCU, guys? Is it the end?
Man, I'm so curious about what the future is, because I feel like for Avengers Doomsday, I feel like people are going to come back for that just because it's the actors and there's going to be.
They put 6 trillion cameos in it, but
yeah, it'll be like the Deadpool Wolverine effect where everyone comes back for the nostalgia. Yeah. And so I just don't know if people are going to stick around after. And it's hard to picture them just giving up on the whole universe. I wonder if it just gets like smaller scale for a while. But I don't know where it goes from here. Maybe Superman will do really well, reinvigorate the whole superhero genre, and then Marvel can catch. It'll confuse people. Like they'll try and put out a movie that kind of looks like a DC movie. People will go see it.
Marvel needs to like make a good character in a movie, then give them their show. not give him like a show and then work him into a movie because that's
Yeah.
not working at
No.
all.
Yeah.
A character that people like. No one actually cared about Ironheart in Black Panther 2, and they're like, give her own show. It's like, do people really like her that much? I don't think people liked her that much.
So I think the problem is they said, give her own show. And
Yeah.
then they came out with the movie and they were like, oh, crap. Now we have this show that nobody wants to watch.
So hopefully they figure things out and turn it around. I know the next one is Fantastic Four First Steps. And guys, I saw the trailer for it, and it looks totally nuts. I think people are going to be losing their mind. We should see it. We should see it, guys, because it looks totally nuts. So yeah, that was like a big one early in May. If we had done a May wrap up, it probably would have been like the last movie we talked about, but I threw it here.
It literally feels like it's like a brand new movie now. If I rewatched it, it feels like so long ago, like in a fucking time warp.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to watching it again for this stream, and I haven't felt that way for a Marvel movie in a long time.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I really enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, I want to watch that again. And it's been on Disney Plus for like a year now. And I'm like, I still haven't watched it. I'm like, you know, I'll just watch that one scene on YouTube. Next up, a sequel I was actually looking forward to and might have been let down by Fear Street Prom Queen. Did you guys watch the Fear Street trilogy from a few years ago?
Yes.
No.
Oh yeah.
You did not.
Oh, no. I did
Okay. It was actually a lot of fun. Joey Z, did you like it?
I fucking loved it. I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah, well, I didn't like it that much. But okay. Yeah, so I really like the trilogy. I remember someone at the office I was at recommended we review it, and we did at the time. And I dug it. So it's based off R.L. Stine, but like his more young adult books, right? It's like the next step up from Goosebumps, I guess. I don't know how accurate it is. I didn't read any of those books. But the trilogy was fun because it was like, I mean, it's really just a TV show, but they were like, we're going to make it like a movie. Each one is its own movie, but they're just really long episodes of a TV show.
Basically, yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love the different settings in each of them. It had this fun, like, teen drama vibe to it, mixed in with over the top gore, like really violent. The first one, Fear Street, 1994, they put a girl's head through like a bread cutter. And it's the most gruesome thing I've ever seen. But like the rest of the movie feels like Degrassi. So it was weird putting it in there. So yeah, it ended on a cliffhanger where, and Gil, I assume you watched Prom Queen?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There was like a curse that was the reason everyone goes insane. And they mentioned it in Prom Queen, and I don't know why, because that has nothing to do with that curse. The movie ends with like someone getting this evil book and they're going to do more spells. And then none of that is brought up in Prom Queen. They mentioned the town that someone goes crazy and kills people every year. But
yeah, I think like one time though. I think they only mentioned that once, right?
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then when the girl's in the bathroom, there's like a Sarah Fear Lives, which is the name of a character from the trilogy.
Oh, is there? I didn't even notice that.
Dude, it's so clearly put in on post, like Sharpie in post. Like I noticed it wasn't quite matching up, like they threw it in after the fact. This story tells this movie tells the story of Shady Side School's senior prom. A bunch of women are trying out for prom queen. Ariana Greenblatt's in it for 5 seconds. She's in all these big movies like Barbie and stuff, and they threw her in here for exactly 5 seconds. Kind of like they did with Uma Thurman's daughter in the first Fear Street.
Yeah.
What's that girl's name? What's Uma Thurman's daughter's name?
Hannah or something like that.
Sure, Hannah something.
Yeah.
They did like a
Barrymore.
They threw her right in the beginning of Fear Street and killed her off right away. So they did the same thing here. There is a girl whose name I could be damned if I'll remember. Maya Hawke. Someone just said it in the chat.
Maya Hawke. Same thing, yeah.
Emma something, whatever the fuck you said.
Yeah, who the fuck knows?
So, nice lady has a mom who people think might have murdered her boyfriend in the past, and everyone hates her, and she's going to try out for prom queen. And then Mean Girl also wants to be prom queen, and she's a bitch, and her parents are assholes who want nothing more than for her to be prom queen. And then the night of the prom, there's a killer going around. Who could it be? Oh no, I cut to the picture of the parents again. Oops. Sorry, Stitch, too early. Yeah, Fear Street Prom Queen. I was excited for this. I really didn't like it. What did you think, Joey?
No, I didn't like it at all. I will give a memorable mention to, or an honorable mention to The Mask. I think The Mask is sick.
Yeah.
But like, it's just your typical teen slasher. The acting was fucking horrible. And the initial ending, like there's two parts to the ending.
Yeah.
The initial ending is so fucking predictable and stupid.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, like the second half, like I saw it coming, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like the scene when they're in the closet hiding, and then
I knew that was gonna happen.
It was just kind of like I didn't think it was gonna happen right there. But the effects were terrible. The
effects weren't even like the kills weren't even that good. And I'm glad you brought up predictable because like the whole time I'm like, this is too predictable. Obviously, they're going to throw us a curveball, and we never get a curveball. It just plays the way that you would predict it, which isn't fun.
No, not at all. The one thing I do like is I do like how they spaced it out a little bit. They at least tried.
I guess.
God, it didn't. I will not watch this again.
No, I'm not convinced that they tried. I'm not going to give them that.
Bill, as someone who didn't watch the trilogy and went in blind, how did you feel about this one?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the nicest thing you can say about it is that it does portray moving images on screen, and it technically has characters. It is a movie.
Yep.
But it's funny, though, you were saying that the original series was more like long TV episodes that they kind of turned into a movie.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, they were kind of like short movies, not like short films, but like not like super long movies. But
they were pretty tight.
Led into each other. I think that's another thing. Why didn't they do the trilogy thing again?
I mean, it felt like they didn't really have enough story to justify one movie. I don't know how they would have stretched this into 3.
Yeah, dude, they stretched it too much.
Yeah,
and it's weird that it's even in the same universe because it has nothing to do with the Evil Curse book or anything with that.
Yeah, even though, based on what you guys are saying, it sounds like Netflix got a script for some generic slasher, and then like, how do we get people to watch this?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Here's what I want to know. I realize that Chris Klein will probably be in something like this. What happened to Catherine Waterston? Like this, and the last movie I saw her in was Afraid, the AI house movie. I watched that on a plane back from Los Angeles, and I even though it was free, I wanted my money back. That movie was terrible. This is terrible. Did everything just go downhill after Alien Covenant? I feel like she was in big things like the Harry Potter and stuff. And now she's in this. It's disappointing. The whole thing is disappointing. I really did not like it. I don't know. They should have just did a trilogy again. Had it tie into the mythology a little bit.
Yeah,
they just
expanded it more.
You're right. There's no real reason to mention any of the mythology when this is an isolated incident that had nothing to do with it in the same town.
It's like they had the idea like when they were in post already, and they're like, just overdub in a fucking line there in the beginning and put it on the bathroom wall. Like that was it.
Yeah.
I was also talking about the acting earlier.
Yeah.
And you described it as like Degrassi, but then every once in a while it gets really violent.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. Like anytime someone cursed, it sounded like just as awkward and unnatural as when I curse. It didn't sound right at all. It was so weird. I feel like that is a good summation of the whole movie. I just don't know what they were going for. Like it doesn't know if it wants to take itself seriously or be a straight up comedy, because it's not trying that hard to be funny, except every once in a while the principal going, "Wowzers."
Yeah,
dude, when he got his fucking arm cut off.
It was a little tongue in cheek with the other 3. It would go back and forth between being serious and then really funny. But I guess it worked. The balance worked for those 3. You're right. It didn't work here. It didn't work here. And I really just didn't care about any of the characters.
No, like, dude, especially fucking Juliette Lewis lookalike over here. Like she was terrible, dude.
When they do the introduction at the beginning of like, she's the one who sells pot. She's the one who starts all the rumors, and she's this. And you immediately forget what all like the defining characteristics were for each of them. Like none of that mattered at all. We could have skipped past all of it.
Yeah. Also, I guess I just don't remember Prom really. Did a bunch of people get on stage at your prom and
no, we didn't even have a fucking stage. What do you mean?
Yeah, we went to like a banquet like hall or something. We didn't like it wasn't in the school.
You want to know a fun fact? I was prom king.
What the fuck? We've done 2 boy months and you didn't mention that? That's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, baby.
Damn, that's why you're on top. I was so excited before the stream started. I was the number 2, and then Tony picks us both off and then brings us back on.
You were prom king.
Yeah, dude. Prom king and snowball king, which is the winter dance.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry. You said snowball, and I thought of Clerks, and I went, Joey.
Oh no,
Joey,
no.
5 months over. You don't have to bring that up now.
No.
You don't need to bring that up now. What the hell, Joey? Why would you say that? See, that's another one. Gil looking like, oh boy, I know you watch Kevin Smith movies. Fuck
I have
you.
no idea what you're talking about.
That was a
come
funny
on.
joke, you asshole. But yeah, if you like the trilogy, don't watch this. I imagine it won't lead into anything if they make more.
Also, if you don't like the trilogy, don't watch it.
If you don't like the trilogy, I didn't expect you guys to watch it, really. But I guess we'll move on to the next movie, which is Lilo and Stitch remake.
Good.
You guys may be wondering, Tony, why are you doing a live action Disney remake? And the answer is I went with my nieces to see it.
Yeah, you did say that too. You're like, I may add this to the list if I go see it.
It was like touching because I had some scheduling issues with my sister because like things got real busy. And I'm like, guys, Lilo and Stitch might be on the list. I'm not going to see this movie for no other reason. Like, I mean, I love my nieces and everything, but Lilo and Stitch, it's asking a lot of old Uncle Tony. I'll do it.
Save for me. Like, if I watch a bad movie, I'll text you after. Like, can we add this to the list so I don't feel like I wasted my time?
So yeah, Lilo and Stitch. It's the latest live action Disney remake. Hey, remember that scene from Stitch? They do it again. Remember this guy from Stitch, the shark man? Well, he's not in it. But don't worry. They added a second social worker, and the love interest guy now has a grandmother. More characters. Yay. Who would want giant shark guy? We'll just make Zalakafikinakis the main bad guy now. And he won't be in an alien suit. He'll be in a human form for most of the movie, unless it's convenient. And then Stitch is there being Stitch. I just watched the original today. I've seen it in parts throughout the years.
Like for
never
the first
in order.
time?
Yes.
Wow.
I've seen it in part. So I've probably seen all the movie in parts, not in chronological order throughout the years. I just didn't care to see it when it came out. I didn't care to watch it at all. So yeah, I finally watched it today. I wanted to go into the remake mostly blind to see how it would affect my viewing, and I thought it was like all right. Like, it was passable. It wasn't the worst Disney remake I've ever seen. And then I watched the original today, and I could see why some people don't like the changes, especially the end, which Ohana means leave your sister in the foster care system and go to college.
Yep.
That's what Ohana means. Although, to be fair, the movie, she does have like a portal gun so she can visit her constantly and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's with like a neighbor. So like they try to
That
have their
was the
cake.
justification of it, right?
They try to have their cake and eat it too. I think people aren't seeing the movie, so they don't know those details. So they think the sister just goes, "You and your dumb alien are going into the foster care.
See you later."
You know, it worked for Mint Salad and Riley. They turned out great. You'll be fine. Little Lilo and Stitch. But no, when you watch the movie in context, I guess it makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, it's another pointless remake. I prefer the original now that I had sat and watched all through it, but I didn't hate this new one. It's whatever. Joey, see, what did you think?
Well, first, I probably haven't seen the original in like 15 years, probably, but that doesn't change my opinion. First of all, I can't believe that it's still showing in theaters in my local theater since it came out. Like, I feel like it came out the beginning of May, but
I think it was toward the end of May.
Oh, okay, so that's not too bad. The story, though, definitely, definitely misses the mark. Like, Jumbo changes from like a Russian guy, like crazy scientist, to like the token gay guy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And it's just like no substance in it whatsoever. It's just the worst character ever. And who chose Zach Galifianakis or whatever for the role? Should be shot. Just be shot. I just can't even I can't not think of his other movies when I hear his voice. It's like Chris Pratt doing Mario. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, I like Zach Galifianakis. He didn't bother me at the time, but when I watched the original today, I'm like, they couldn't find anyone who could do that accent.
Anybody else, dude.
And then they put Tia Carrera in the movie just because I guess she voiced the character in the original.
Yeah, shoehorned her
as a social worker. But then they're like, and the other social worker is Cobra Bubbles. And I watched the original and I'm like, wait, it was just one character. I'm like, I know woke, whatever. Why don't you just make Tia Carrera the new Cobra? Why did you add a new character and Cobra? Why are you adding so many more characters when all we want is Big Shark Guy, who sure has a name?
That's the name of the game with these live action legacy sequels, man.
Gil, how did you feel about Lilo and Stitch? And will you be doing a Lilo and Stitch timeline, which includes the direct-to-video sequels and the TV show where there is a woke pink Stitch lady?
I don't know. My head is just spinning still from when you said you didn't watch it in chronological order, because anything that's not chronological order, I just can't handle it. I had never seen the animated movie, and like you, Tony, I thought I'll go in really fresh for the live action one, because a lot of the complaints about the movie are in comparison to the original. So I was like, what if we remove that variable and just take it as it is? And same reaction you had. It's fine, heartwarming, funny. The one thing that really bugged me is just that a lot of children's movies now, I feel like they're a lot more chaotic and hyperkinetic than they used to be, back in our day.
Yeah.
And so I went back and I watched for the first time the original. I didn't get all the way through it because I had to stop and get ready for this, but I watched the first half, and pretty much anything I took issue with in the live action one, I feel like was better in the original. Things are a little bit calmer. They're not as crazy. I also, even in the movie, I found Stitch to be pretty annoying at first. And I was like, I get Lilo is desperate for friends, so she'll take anything she can get. But it still felt weird that she was so immediately attached to him. But in the animated one, she's playing with a weird alien doll, which she was also doing in the live action one, but they didn't really draw attention to it. But you also, in the animated movie, see a little bit of her darker edge. When the other kids are making fun of her, she immediately attacks them and bites one of them.
Yeah, they really toned down
first. Yeah,
they really toned down her darkness in this one. Which I noticed. I was shocked that Elvis was allowed to be mentioned in the new one without a lecture on how he's actually bad or whatever. I was assuming they could remove all the Elvis references. But no, I was glad that was in there. Did you miss Big Shark Guy?
I didn't know Big Shark Guy enough to miss him.
Yeah, he shows up at the end to steal Stitch back. I mean, the original Lilo and Stitch had last minute changes because originally they hijack a plane to chase the
that's right. Yeah.
And then it takes them through the city and they're crashing into buildings. And then 9/11 happened. They're like, we can't do that. The ending of the movie. And then there's one where she's hiding in a washer and they had to change it because they're like, wait, you can't have a kid crawling in. Everyone says that. I'm like, no. That was pretty stupid. Why would they even attempt to do that?
Or they even think that? Yeah.
That was one of those, how did this get to that point?
Yeah, if you're going to take offense to any of the changes in the movie, I feel like that's one where I get it at least.
Yeah. But yeah, the new one just kind of adds nothing other than it's live action, I guess, which means it's not as fun.
How did the twins like it?
They didn't care. They just love that Stitch was on the screen. They like these remakes. They like having the option between them. And then they always think they have to say new one or old one for every single movie.
That's super.
Jungle Book, new one. I'm like, okay. Although they were like Little Mermaid. I'm like, all right, I'll put Little Mermaid on for you. And then they went new one. And I looked at them and I went, absolutely not. And they're like, new one. So then I did what I always did. I went I just went, did your girl say Kong? And they're like, yeah, it's Kong, Godzilla. I'm like, all right, I'll put that on. Let's put that on. Look, I mean, I'll watch a lot of stuff. I'm not watching these remakes, okay? I saw this one. By the way, the one thing I like about this movie making a shit ton of money, I kept saying the whole time when people were celebrating Snow White failing, I'm like, you guys, They're gonna make all that money back when Lilo and Stitch comes out. They even put Elio out at the same time, knowing that was gonna bomb because they knew they were gonna make a ton of money from Lilo and Stitch.
I'm shocked that Elio flopped.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, so I don't know how bad it is, but it's Pixar.
They were promoting it when I went to see Ballerina. I walked out. There was a big. When I went to the bathroom, they had a big like Elio banner, and like the news was there interviewing kids. And then I had an awkward interaction that I texted Gil about. That I'm not gonna mention on here because I forget I streamed this to Instagram, and that's where that lady follows me. So yeah, it was just like that was awkward. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch. I mean, if you have a kid, wait till it's on Disney Plus. That way, if they don't like it, you just turn it off. You didn't waste a day. I did choose this over How to Train Your Dragons remake, but I didn't care about either live action remake. So what are we gonna do? So none of us really cared about. We either just like it or we didn't care about it.
Accurate.
Cool. We are at the midpoint of our show, guys. But before we get to super chats, Joey C.
Yeah, Tony.
You have a surprise for us. You've been working on something.
Well, I did it in an evening and sent it to you, but yeah, that is correct.
I
do have a surprise.
Yeah. Joey C worked really hard on something, and I don't know why. He showed me this before we were gonna do a commentary track. I laughed hysterically and I said, "Why did you do this?" And you didn't have a good answer.
Literally, because it made you laugh. It's funny.
But you said it after. I know this took a while to edit, you asshole. You're like, I did it in a night.
I swear to God, I did it in an entire night.
Joey,
literally.
Joey, is everything all right at home? Are you okay?
It took me a day to do.
No, but that has nothing to do with this.
Am I safe at home? No, I'm not. But just watch it.
He asked if everything's okay at home. And then you were like, am I safe at home? No. He's just trying to tell us something.
The fact that you have to question if you're safe or not. Okay, I'm going to take us off screen so we don't talk over it. You made all this music, right? You didn't steal this from something?
I didn't steal, it's just a cover,
Okay. All right.
Just a cover.
So we get copyright claimed.
I'll just pay you for it.
Okay, let's...
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet. Did you see my tweet? I can show you anything, including Crystal's feet. Subscribe to Hack the Movies. It's really the best. Just like in Super Chat and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Tony fed me peaches and it feels just like a blur. Be manly, sarcastic, the joke.
It's lagging?
Is it lagging?
Is it lagging bad? You just texted me that it's lagging.
Gil, is it lagging? Gil.
Oh, hold on.
Gil.
It was fine.
Was it lagging?
It was totally fine on my end.
Okay, good. Play it.
God damn it. I'm starting over again, you asshole.
I was really enjoying that.
Is it hold on. Real quick. Chat, is it it was working. Fuck you,
Good.
Joey Steve.
It must
shitty
be
internet.
my internet.
I'm starting over again.
Welcome to time. Oh, yeah.
How do we continue now? I feel like we just the stream peaked.
Again, I didn't ask Joey to do that. I didn't ask him to do that. He just did it.
Out of nowhere, I just sent him the fucking link to it.
I went through a journey with that. At first, I was like, what is Joey doing with his life? But then I was like, what am I doing with my life? This is amazing. But at least I got mentioned. That made me happy.
Of course.
That's my peak. I'm quitting YouTube now. That was it.
That's your peak. Oh, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. A music video for my show, that can't be your peak. That should actually, that's rock bottom, really. I think.
That's Welcome to Hack the Movies. It has all the information in there that you need.
Now that Tony played it on the stream, he has the content ID.
Yeah,
so officially is the property of Hack the Movies now.
That's why you should send a super chat.
Well, we have some super chats. Let's go through these before we get to the second half.
I'll make that
what was that?
I'll make that video public now.
Good. Scott Kincaid for $4.99. Can we get a What is the Worst Highlander sequel, please? No, I actually have a lot to say about all Highlander movies, so they would have to be one at a time. I've been wanting to do Highlander. I think now that the remake is actually happening, I might get started on those. Like Highlander 2 alone might get 2 episodes. I don't know. There's 2 different versions of that movie. So no, but Highlander is a definite thing that will happen in the future. Funny enough, that was an unaired rental reviews episode. Me, James, and Pat, we did it, and then like we sat on it to get released later, and then rental reviews was canceled. So it never made it there. Captain Boomies for $10. Antonio is invited on the yachts. Cheers.
I think it's a coded way of saying don't talk about Hack the Movies on the yacht. Okay.
That's right.
I'm gonna get a shirt that's in this font that just says Antonio. Guys, don't talk hard. I'm Tony from Hack the Movies. Don't call me Antonio. It feels weird. Lucha Steve. Wait, start over. I just showed up. He's actually in the back room now. We'll bring him in at the end.
That's a long start over.
Yeah. Girk Pectus for $5. What hero you think has the most tragic backstory? I say Buffy's Angel has memories of the countless families he's murdered and tortured for fun. Sad.
Didn't he go to hell for a while too?
Yeah, so he paid his dues, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's a
Crow
backstory?
The Crow.
The Crow is pretty tragic, I guess.
His wife died and other things in front of him.
Punisher's whole family died in front of him.
Punisher's is really tragic.
Yeah. John Wick ties in.
John Wick. Okay, that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That one's
because he doesn't
one.
even get like. It's not like someone killed his wife, so he doesn't get to go out and get revenge. He needed the puppy as the excuse.
Yeah. We'll talk about John Wick in a second. Don't worry. I don't know.
Supergirl has a very tragic backstory. I don't remember it, but I remember it was very tragic.
I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think. This is a hard one. A hard one.
Jim West from Wild Wild West for sure.
Okay, next up, Geraldski for $5. Oh, there you are. I can't wait for you to review the new Marvel that's coming out this month. It looks nuts. I'm gonna lose my mind. Lucha Steve for $2. I'm with Girk Pectus. Angel was a great show.
I think he just wanted you to say Girk Pectus again.
Yeah, I guess so. Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. That was pretty tragic.
Yeah.
His parents and everything. Kirk Pectus. How else do you pronounce it?
I think you got it. That's pretty much how I'd say it.
It's kind of like it's Dr. K. Pectus.
Doctor? What the fuck?
What?
No, that was bad. That was bad. The newspaper at the end of Final Destination 6 says only 2 people died from that destructive train crash. What the fuck? Were the death bosses? I would fire them.
I think actually they were trying to avoid at the end of Final Destination 5. I can say a spoiler, right?
They're saying
such an old movie.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm drawing a comparison. In 5, a bunch of people die in the plane crash. And so there was all this debate afterward of like, wait a minute, death is only supposed to kill people when it's their time. Yeah. So it kind of felt like sloppy work. So actually, death is being precise now. He's killing only the people whose time it is.
Oh man, we can't talk about it yet, but the beginning of Jurassic World, that Snickers wrapper really gave the penny from Final Destination Bloodlines a run for its money. Like, what is it this year with just little items causing Rube Goldberg tragedies?
There was also clearly a ton of product placement. I feel like every character is like holding a bag of, I'm eating M&Ms. This person's got a Snicker bar.
That makes sense. Kirk Pectus for $2. I bet Final Destination 6 dad believes her after paying for 6 funerals.
That was my favorite way to write out a character. I'm going for a walk. You just never see them again.
Oh, Pico Jet Black for $10. It's been a while since we had him here. Joey C. and Gil, do you believe Tony when he says he won't break into your homes in the middle of the night, steal your food, and let out a giant fart to wake you up? Also, Tony really needs that surgery.
You know, Tony, I've slept at your house before, and you've never woken me up with a fart. You did wake me up at 9 a.m. and shove fruit in my face, so that's arguably just as worse.
Yeah.
Whatever gets Tony to come to my house.
Pico Jet Black for $2. Hot take. Tony supports the LGBTQIA community. That's wrong. I support the 2S LGBTQIA plus community.
I was about to call you out. Good save.
Thank you. Hot take. Tony does not support the World War II Axis powers. I mean, yeah, no, I guess I don't support those countries at that time. I wasn't really around for that, so it wasn't like I could support them.
Really around.
The original writer, Cody Bishop for $4.99. This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The original writers of Fear Street trilogy didn't return for the new movie, which is why it sucked so badly. The original creators were gone.
I do feel like they did try to capture that vibe so hard, and they tried way too hard. Like it was borderline cringe is what it was.
I like the part where the guy's hands got cut off by the paper cutter, and then he tried to open the doorknob and he couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
Gil,
wow,
that sounds
crazy.
Gil, that sounds like a Daredevil Born Again situation. They got rid of the original creators. I think they need to fire these guys and bring back people.
Yeah, they should have halfway through. They should have. I mean, it's the same story. Yeah, they should have stopped in the middle and they made it more like the original Netflix series. Same.
Obviously. Kiryu Pilot $3.79 for $4.99. Thought Predator was amazing. So is Thunderbolts. Is there going to be more rental redos? We just don't call them that anymore. But yes, I think there's been a couple, right?
I heard a rumor might be talking about Highlander soon.
Well, yeah. Well, that was one that never came up. I'll find out. I think I am doing a couple. I might redo a few of them. Okay, that was it for super chats right now. We should get back on with the show. Let me remove this. Stop screen. Next up, Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Now, some of you guys might be saying, Tony, did you review the other John Wick things? I actually reviewed all the John Wick things with Gil.
One of the most watched episodes of Hack the Movies.
No, it was not, which is why you notice Ballerina is on a monthly wrap up.
One of the episodes of Hack the Movies.
It's one of the episodes. Not a bad episode. It's actually a really good. It was Gil's first in studio episode.
I studied hard. I watched every John Wick movie like 5 times each. I even watched the Continental series.
Which is funny because the creators have since come out and been like, that was another thing. We're like, we weren't super involved with it. And that's why it didn't work. I'm like, I thought it was fine.
I've watched more John Wick than the creators of John Wick.
I have less issues with Continental than I do with Ballerina, to be honest. But Ballerina tells the story of a lady named Eve, right? Her dad is killed by Gabriel Byrne, who is the leader of a cult. She ends up in the care of the school that trains the John Wick assassins, basically. She is about, because in that school, it's like the boys were wrestlers and the girls were ballerinas. So she trains as a ballerina, a hitman in training. She works her way up to become an assassin. And during one of her missions, she runs into a cult member who's clearly there to kill her. This is a plot hole. So she ends up she gets her interest in the cult and her connection to it, and she tries to hunt them down all over the world. And it's such a disaster that the assassins send John Wick to stop her.
Between like 2 scenes in John Wick 4.
No, John Wick 3. It was John Wick 3.
No. It was during John Wick 3.
Okay.
Part of it. And then later, after on his way to the desert in John Wick 4. So it's after the first scene, but before the next sequence.
Which at that point, they should have all cut him off because he was like super wanted. Anyway. So they send John Wick out to stop her. But then he eventually is just like, all right, I'm going to give you a time limit. Go do what you got to do. Then she kills a bunch of guys, including Daniel Bernhardt, who already died in the first John Wick. I'm guessing he plays a different guy. One little slide. I was interested in this movie as someone who actually didn't mind the Continental, despite what the creator said. I was like, all right, let's see if we can flesh out this universe a little bit. And I like Ana de Armas. Yeah, I wasn't super into it. It was just kind of more of the same. If anything, the revenge, it's like, oh, they killed her father, she wants revenge. It's like, well, cool thing about John Wick that it wasn't that kind of revenge story. Now we've circled back to that kind of revenge story. The placing of John, like the continuity bothered me a little bit. But I will say toward the end, when it turned into a flamethrower shoot off, I was like, okay, wait a minute. This might have sold me. This might have sold me. I did really like the flamethrower stuff. That was awesome. There are some ridiculous kills where even me in the John Wick world, I'm like, that I don't think a flimsy table will shield you from a grenade on the other side of it. I just don't think, and I have to suspend my disbelief because it's John Wick. But like they're stretching it out. There were a lot of insane things that could have never happened happening too close together. I couldn't space it out enough.
Were you one of the people in Indiana Jones 4 that was complaining when he went into the fridge and that let him survive a nuclear blast?
No, that didn't bother me too much. I had other issues with that movie. No, because my favorite Indiana Jones is the one with the roller coaster over lava. So I mean, I can't really poke too much in it. But no, usually you can space like a couple crazy things out. But that one with the grenades, I'm like,
that the one when she was like
all of them.
Handcuffed to the guy or something, and she flips over the table?
Yeah, the table one is most, and then the door, and I'm like,
that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I was like, at least they're trying something different.
But I'm sitting there the whole time, like your ears would be ringing. You'd be like, the whole rest of the movie, they'd be like, blah blah blah. You'd be going, what? I'm sorry, 10,000 grenades. I think I have internal bleeding from the vibrations. Someone sent me to a hospital. But Joey C, how did you feel about this one?
I'm getting the idea that you didn't really enjoy it that much, but I thought it was fucking awesome. Now, mind you, I've only ever seen the first John Wick, and I saw it when it first came out. So I never saw the second through the fourth one. So the continuity is fucking out the window for me. Right. So I'm kind of viewing it with fresh eyes. Mm-hmm. I thought the action was so badass. Like we talked about the grenade thing. Some of the kills were really fucking sick. And this movie got me to rewatch the first John Wick and then watch all the other ones besides that. And the thing that I really dug about it was so fucking gory.
Yeah.
It was insane. And I kept imagining, like, this is what it's like to break into like a Scientology fucking town. Like, oh my God, it was crazy. Dude, I can't wait to watch it again.
According to one person in the chat, Joey, you did see John Wick 4. You talked about it on a monthly wrap.
Oh yeah, I think is that the newer one that came out?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I did see that one, but the second and third one,
trying to keep us honest.
Just watched. Yeah, of course.
Someone go back to that video and see if he's mentioned seeing the second and third one. To find out if Joey is
confirm
lying.
Me. See if I'm lying.
You're like, the only thing that can make this better is a ballerina.
Meanwhile, I'm like a fucking whiz. Yeah, if I did, I don't remember. I definitely didn't watch the second one. I don't think
this also took a really long time to come out.
Yeah,
I feel like they filmed it a while. Lance Reddick is in it, so they had to have filmed at least that part a while ago.
Well, I think there was extensive reshoots in this movie.
I heard that too, and then recently I heard that was a little bit exaggerated. Like they didn't reshoot the whole movie or anything close to that, but definitely there were reshoots, and that was the story for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they were just sitting on it because we didn't see a trailer or anything for like a really long time. But Gil, what did you think of Ballerina from the world of John Wick?
Yeah, I think, Joey, what you said makes a lot of sense. The fact that you only watched one or maybe two John Wick movies before this and you liked it, because I did enjoy the movie, but I found myself starting to get fatigued with the action. I was just like, I've seen it. It is good. It's
It's
very
probably the same
competently
bit
done.
over and over again.
Exactly. So
right?
anytime it did something different, like the doors and the grenades, or even when they were fighting on the ice and sliding around, and then of course the flamethrowers, like anytime they did that stuff, I perked back up. But I feel like there were so many missed opportunities to get even more creative. Like they talk about a cult. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And they tell you how this cult, they just kill for fun. They don't have any higher purpose or rules or anything.
And they're at war with the assassin. Well, there's like a stalemate.
Yeah, there's like a truce there.
Yeah, but you never see any cult-like behavior from them, really, other than when you're there, they don't want you to leave. But otherwise, it feels like they're all just living in a town and just trying to mind their own business.
Are they like also assassins? Are they like a rival assassin?
I thought they were like retired assassins. Like that's where they go.
Saying.
Yeah.
That's what it was?
That's where they go to like live a normal life, I think is what the guy said.
Yeah, if you want to leave the assassin life, you go to this town.
But you're still in a cult and
that's
you're training.
That's why it didn't really make sense to me, and it felt like a missed opportunity to show us some like weird cult stuff that would give this movie a little bit more personality and differentiate it a little bit from the other Wick movies.
Yeah, because we learned from Continental the coin press to make all their coins is from the Roman Empire or something. So these people have been around for a very long time. So they could have done something. But yeah, we don't really get to learn more about the cult other than them currently. And I think I texted Gil like this glaring plot hole where a cult member spots her and attacks her, knowing who she is. So you're led to believe that they've been searching for her since she went missing and they figured out who she was. But then later in the movie, the leader of the cult and everyone, they're like, oh my God, she's alive? She's been alive this whole time. It's like, who is that cult member attacking her? I don't think he was with the guys that she killed, unless it's a coincidence that he got word that she was a killer. It's very confusing, the setup for the story. I'm like, why did that cult guy attack her? And why does no one know she exists?
I also don't know, like, I don't want to spoil it, but like the ending, like twist, if you will. I don't know if that makes sense in like the existing continuity or something, but when I saw it, I was like, what is that? You could have gone without that. Right.
I don't even remember what it was.
If you're talking about the twist, I think you're talking about, it was so stupid. I was like, it's just not necessary at all.
I don't want to.
I honestly, after she kills the guy, I don't remember what happened.
When the two people are in the house at the end and the house gets lit on fire.
Oh, with her sister?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it's like the very end.
That doesn't land as a twist anymore. Like in cinema in general. Like I'm your sibling or I'm related to you somehow. I don't care.
Yeah. Like I just didn't know if that like tied into like something that happened in the third movie or whatever.
No. Honestly, the third movie, the only tie-in is that he's at that place, so she has an excuse to see him.
Well, I do know because like if I remember correctly, the fourth one. They ended it a certain way and they don't know because they want to make another one how they're gonna work their way out of it.
I think this was them testing the waters, like what if we do these spin-offs and he just shows up in them?
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured.
Which I loved when he showed up. I thought his scenes were great. Just like as the movies have gone on, he's spoken less and less, and when he does talk, it sounds like his throat is just constricting throughout the movies. Like at a certain point he can barely get the words out, and here he's just like, just stop. Go away.
I have a lot I'm trying to do. Can you please? I gotta go kill our leader. Don't tell anyone.
And he's just standing there like up on the cliff just watching his clock.
Yeah.
He's dead. Like he says
sounds just like him.
I mean, I like Ana de Armas, but like she was just fine. There wasn't really I just want revenge. I'm angry.
She brought, I feel like it's like you said earlier, with John Wick, actually, when they were trying to get the movie made, the studio was pushing back. They were like, you can't just have him do all this for a puppy.
Yeah.
You got to kill his whole family. Yeah. And they were like, no. And they were so right to push for that because the fact that it was, just a puppy it made it more interesting. And this movie, there's no interesting angle to her character. It's a standard revenge story. With Wick, I mean, he was pretty stoic, but at least there was the reluctance of like, are you back, John? Everyone keeps asking me if I'm back.
He didn't really want to do all the stuff that he was doing. Yeah.
So there was at least something to his character, whereas she is just a very stoic, cold-blooded killer, standard revenge story. And it even took a while to get started. Like another thing that the creators of the first one talked about was how we don't want too much talking, like just get to the point. And I feel like this movie did not get the memo because there was a lot of talking, a lot of like Kikimura and all this like lore they were adding. And I was like, just get to the stuff we're here for.
Yeah, and I guess you could. I mean, it is interesting to see like a young assassin in this world who's like bloodthirsty and whatnot. But I don't know. It's just other than the John Wick style action scenes, outside of that, it didn't really give me anything new.
Yeah. And like, what's the difference between John Wick and a young assassin? Young assassin can beat everyone except for John Wick. Otherwise, they're
pretty much.
Yeah, she met her match there in that fight.
Yeah.
It was a fun like theater experience though, because
definitely
it was a fun movie to watch in theaters. Like those are the type of like over the top ridiculous action movies that I love to see.
Oh, I love watching these in the theaters, the John Wicks. Yeah, they're fun. This one again, I think it bombed. Does this one also bomb?
I hope not.
I think so. I think it did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't like normies. I feel like they see ballerina in big letters. And they're like, I don't want to see a movie about a ballerina.
Well,
like the little from the world of John Wick. I don't think it gets the job done.
Well, that's why they started putting him in the trailers and the poster.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't enough.
Probably would have made more sense for this to be like an adventure with her and John Wick. I don't know. That's not. I mean, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but it probably would have got people to see it. But I guess also I think people are a little tired of women taking over mainly male-dominated action franchises. Which no. This is a universe. Sadly, this is a universe where you can do that. They established in the first movie there's plenty of like female assassins and everything. So it's sad that like this universe you can do it, but then other franchises were doing it poorly, and everyone assumed that this would be another one.
It's kind
so
of
it kind of like was indirectly affected by other failures, pretty much.
I was gonna say same thing with like Thunderbolts. Like that's a solid movie, but just the general blowback of you put Marvel on a movie now, and people just assume it's going to be the same as the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd say when it hits streaming, definitely check it out.
Oh, for sure.
It's a fun watch. You can turn your brain off for parts of it. There's always, I mean, not in the beginning. There's a lot of talking happening. But when the action gets going, it really gets going and it doesn't let up. And again, the flamethrower fight is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I've been wanting I love flamethrower stuff. That's awesome.
Before the stream started, I won't go into too much detail, but you were telling us a story about that you were walking around your neighborhood today and you saw something and you were like, I want to burn that. I'm going to burn that later.
Dude, it makes so much sense. He was saying that too.
Yeah.
So I have a fire pit out back, which I really haven't been able to use much because the winter was too dry. We had a burn ban, and then the autumn was too dry, and then winter came and it snowed too much. And then lately it's either been 1,000 degrees and I definitely don't want to be near a fire, or it's been raining nonstop. So I just have wood piling up. And my neighbors down the street have just had a branch on the side of the road for weeks now. With all these dried leaves, and I'm like, man, that'll burn really nice in my fire pit. So today I was like, fuck it, I'm dragging it home. So I dragged a giant ass branch all the way to my house.
His neighbors were terrified. They're looking at the window. Honey, there's a strange man, Antonio. He's dragging a branch off.
Antonio's outside again. That never happens.
I'm dragging it home as like a storm cloud's rolling in. I'm like, oh, this is a lightning rod.
You should start a GoFundMe for a flamethrower instead of the championship belt this time.
So there's a possibility where, either that. Earlier today there was a bear running around my block. Prison Mike came over to bring lunch, and we just get a Snapchat from him, and he's like, "There's a bear in the neighborhood."
Like, Prison Mike, you think we could burn that bear?
Well, I'm saying there's a possibility that you guys, it would have been like 8:05. You'd have been like, "Where's that asshole Tony?" And I would have been mauled by a bear or struck by lightning. Fucker's late again. That's a bee just eaten alive. Like, ah. All right, that was Ballerina. Next up, Apple TV's Echo Valley. Now, you might be saying, Tony, why'd you pick this? Oh, no, not you. No.
There's
Go
Echo
to sleep.
again.
Go to sleep. I gotta unplug it. I forgot my Alexa's name is Echo. So whenever I say it, she thinks I'm talking to her. And she stepped over the joke I was setting up. You might be wondering, Tony, why did you pick this movie to put on the list? And there's a couple of reasons.
Uh-huh.
See, that would have been funnier because it was more smooth than the fucking Alexa fucked it up. Yeah, so I saw a new Sydney Sweeney movie. I accidentally misread that Ridley Scott directed it. Turns out he just produced. I was like, all right. Well, I saw Ridley Scott. I saw Julianne Moore. They worked together on Hannibal. By the way, it's a very airbrushed Julianne Moore on that poster. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Whoever did this poster really didn't like Julianne Moore. What the fuck? That looks like a whole different person. Anyway, I was like, all right, let's pop this bad boy in. And by that, I mean turn on Apple TV Plus. It tells the story of an older lesbian lady who broke up her family to hook up with another lesbian girl on her farm. That girl got kicked in the head by a horse and died, so she's suffering some grief. Her daughter is hooked on drugs and in and out of rehab and everything. She's about to lose her house. She's begging Kyle MacLachlan, who I was not expecting to be in this movie, for money. And then her daughter comes back and is like, hey, I fucked up. Dumal Gleason or whatever his name is from Star Wars. He wants to kill me because I threw away a bunch of his money and drugs on accident because I was mad at my boyfriend. And then the mom makes one bad decision after another.
Yep, nonstop.
But then she one-ups the guy at the end in a way to make you go, wow, that was very clever. But me, I'm just like, you shouldn't have done any of this in the first place. This was a very odd movie to put out during Pride Month, where literally the husband, the cis male, hetero character, was the only good character in the movie. The mom is terrible. The daughter's terrible. They're all awful people. And it ends on a cliffhanger that really pissed me off. Joey C., what did you feel about Echo Valley?
This is not the movie I expected at all. It was pretty fucking heartbreaking, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's just like the idea. I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but like the idea of like the lengths that you'll go for your kid to save your kid or whatever, and just none of it saves the kid is just fucking wild to me. And it was just, I was hoping for any sort of entertainment in this fucking movie, and it just couldn't deliver that. Sydney Sweeney either did the best fucking job in the world or is the most horrible movie ever. This is not a movie I like to watch. This is not a movie that I will ever watch again. I can't do it.
Again, I picked it just so I could put Sydney Sweeney on the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's
fair.
fair.
But I like Julianne Moore, and again, I thought Ridley Scott directed it. I'm like, oh, this looks different than the other stuff he's been doing.
That was like Bill Murray did the Garfield movie, and he's like, I thought the Coen brothers were making it.
It was a different Coen. Gil, how did you feel about Echo Valley?
I imagine, like, if this was real life and Julianne Moore's character was listening to your retelling of what happened to her, like, I don't know, her wife got kicked by a horse or something, her stupid daughter got hooked on drugs, and I don't know, like, her whole family fell apart.
Yeah.
Like, show some respect.
But then she implicates her friend and everything. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was a solid movie.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie because it kind of is a family drama for the first half and then segues into a thriller, which I feel like to some extent enhances the thriller half of the movie because it gets you bought in and invested into the characters, but it never really circled back to the family drama piece of it. And also, like, the further entrenched you get in the thriller side of it, it just starts to feel totally disconnected. Like, I wanted to see where things went with the relationship between the mom and daughter, and it just felt
Sydney
disconnected.
leaves the movie at some point.
Yeah, and it was weird. And I also, to the point you guys were making earlier about kind of, bad decision over bad decision, it, sort of in theory, I see why it's happening, right? It's her daughter, and she's torn between, okay, I don't want to enable my daughter, but there's the alternative is she's going to hit rock bottom, and maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. But what if rock bottom means she's dead or in jail?
I'm screaming at the screen. This is rock bottom. This is rock bottom.
Yeah, so it was a weird movie. I feel like the performances were generally great. I thought Sydney Sweeney was a bit one note and kind of repetitive. It didn't necessarily feel unrealistic, but I think a little more nuance would have helped. Like, to better understand why Julianne Moore is making such poor decisions, if Sydney Sweeney was a little bit more manipulative, like emotionally manipulative and less repetitive, like, I need help. Okay, I'm going to go do drugs. I need help. And I kind of get it. It sort of works, but I think it could have been done better. So you could better buy into it.
Yeah. And the ending cliffhanger, I'm like, look, I know a parent will keep forgiving their child over and over again for addiction and stuff, but the cartoony stuff that happens in this with the whole thriller and the setup and her countering the setup and the whole like plot and everything, after that, like in real life, I think it'd be like, I never want to see my daughter again. That was a lot. There's no way I can ever do that again. And the movie's just going to be like, is she going to close the door on her or let her in? I'm like, she should close the door and run away and call the cops. I just really wish there was a scene where Kyle MacLachlan came in and went, I told you so. I really would have liked, I told you so. You shouldn't have done that. But yeah, she is very, very unlikable. Not that she should be likable. But man, I wanted to punch her in the face. I'm watching this movie. I'm like, when she tries to like kidnap the dog, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could work. It didn't work for me, really. It was shot nice. I don't know. I've just seen Julianne Moore act better. And this was not her finest role.
I think for me, I'm right now in the middle of updating my MCU timeline.
Yeah.
So I've had to marathon. I mean, literally, I've barely been sleeping because all I'm doing is rewatching Iron Fist season 1 and 2, Agatha All Along, Ironheart, and then I watched this, and I was like, it's real people. And like,
again, even though I'm not crazy about this one, this is another reason I start at these live wrap-ups. Like, sometimes I need to watch a movie for adults about the real world.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to. But yeah, and in case you guys are wondering, no, she doesn't get naked. Yes, she wears a bathing suit, but it's not very revealing. So, you know, if you're in it for that, skip this one. And Gil has his disappointed face on. But if I was reviewing history saying it, he'd be all on board.
Yeah, it's the classic look down, like, I don't even hear what they're saying right
now. But yeah, so that was Echo Valley on Apple TV. Check it out if you want. I don't know. Next up, the movie you guys won't stop messaging and commenting about. Predator, Killer of Killers. Tony, have you seen Predator, Killer of Killers? Tony, did you watch Predator, Killer of Killers yet? Tony, what are your thoughts on Predator, Killer of Killers? Will Killer of Killers be getting a review? Tony,
I'll stop texting you. I'm sorry.
So we're doing it here. The Predator, Killer of Killers review. This comes from Dan Trachtenberg, who also did Prey. I guess he's like the leader of the Predator movies now because he's also directing the next one. He's got a lot of plans with this. This is what I've kind of always wanted from a Predator thing, which also Prey was kind of the same thing. Like, do Predator in different time periods. I didn't necessarily want it animated in an anthology story. That being said, this was pretty good. It starts off with Vikings versus a giant predator. So I guess those giant predators from the fourth film are canon still. Her whole clan gets killed while she's raiding another village. The predator comes in. She has to, and again, it goes how it usually goes. It's never just brute force or anything. They always have to figure out a way to like outsmart the predator, which is something I love with the predator. Which I hate it with like Prey. People are like, oh, you expect me that little girl's going to take on the Predator? I'm like, Arnold couldn't take on the Predator. That was the whole point. The little God's perfect killing machine, Arnold Schwarzenegger, could not stop the Predator. You have to figure out a way to outsmart them. So yeah, this one's about Viking lady The second one is about it's in like feudal Japan. You got like ninjas and samurais there, and they come across a predator. The third one is about he's not really a pilot, he's a guy who works on planes. But it's during World War II, and a bunch of pilots get into a cool aerial battle with the predator, which I don't think we've ever seen a predator doing like dogfights with jets. I mean, it's been a minute since I've watched The Predator, but maybe there was a scene where he fought a jet or something in there.
I don't think so. I watched that movie 3 times recently for my
Okay.
timeline.
Oh, you know what? I think when we were doing rental reviews, we did that one. I think we had a fan who claimed that he acted as a jet fighter, but the scene got cut because famously, The Predator was completely re-edited and like reshot the whole ending. So maybe that's why I'm misremembering that. Spoiler: I don't actually watch The Predator too often. It's not very good. But yeah, so this was something really new with them actually using like their crafts as part of battle. It was really cool. And then you find out that all 3 people get taken to the planet to fight in an arena thing where they have to fight giant monsters. And I guess the winner faces off against this big son of a bitch. And I was very confused. I was like, wait a minute. Is there time travel? And then you find out it's freezing because there's a cameo at the very, very end. The ending is very fun when all 3 characters have a language barrier. So them trying to team up with each other is a struggle. Guys, I really like this. I wasn't the craziest about the animation style, but I got over it very, very quickly. I dug the shit out of this. I would have liked each of these stories as their own movie. But I'm glad that they're at least doing something with this concept outside of comics. Joey C., what did you think?
You know, it's funny that you say you really fucking dig it, because when I was watching, I was like, I bet you Tony fucking loves this for sure. I know nothing about the IP or the continuity, so again, I'm going in fresh. But great choreography with the fighting, if you can call it that, because it's animated. But great fight scenes, incredible visual effects. I actually really dig this animation style. When I first saw it, like the first 10 seconds, I'm like, what the fuck is this? But you forget about that pretty quickly. And the thing that I really dug about it is it's really fast paced. And I'm really shocked that it wasn't in theaters. I feel like this would have done pretty well. I don't know. I think the animation was a great call for this movie. If it was live action, I don't think it would be nearly as good.
No, they would have to scale a lot of stuff back for live action.
Yeah, for sure.
It would be very limited. I actually like that they went animated, even if I'm not crazy about this particular style, but I dug it. Gil, what did you think of Predator, Killer of Killers?
I pretty much agree with everything you guys said, except I love the animation style from the start. It reminded me of Arcane, and apparently that was an influence on the show.
Okay.
And for me with animation, like the closer they try and emulate real life, the more I like it. I'm boring that way, where I don't like things that are overly stylized, or at least it takes getting used to. So this was like perfect for me. Repeating a lot of what you guys said, the action was awesome. The fact that they got creative with the action, like we were talking about with Ballerina, you have to introduce an interesting element to it. And getting to see Predators using different weaponry in 3 different eras, seeing how different characters take them on, was really cool. The 2 things I didn't like that leave me saying, this is a good movie, I didn't love it, is because since it's an anthology, it's like you said, Tony, you would love if each of these stories were their own movie.
Yeah.
The fact that each story is so short, but they still try to have, I think, too much in each story. Like if you go to the Viking one, the first 7 minutes is just nonstop profound moments between the mother and son.
Yeah.
Like, son, do you know why we fight? Okay, next scene. Son, I think it's time you know what really happened to our grandfather. Son, you must kill your first enemy. It's time to execute this man. And so it's all just kind of melodrama you have to get through. But to your point, Joey, it was very efficient. Like you get past that stuff pretty fast. So it's not a major complaint. But the other one is, okay, when they all get brought together on what I assume is the Predator homeworld, or at least a Predator outpost where they host.
Yeah, I
like,
think
gladiator
I think
matches.
after Predators, it's just implied they have a bunch of planets.
Okay, so it's one of their planets.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like this world, like Predator and or Alien, it's such a brutal world. It's not the kind of world where you get swallowed by a monster and then 3 minutes later show up on a speeder bike and it's like, hey, I figured out how to work their technology. Let me fly this ship out of here. How different could it be from my ship, from an airplane from 200 years ago? It felt like a little marvelly toward the end. But I think the reason you watch it is for the action, for seeing different predators taking on different enemies, and all that stuff is great. So it was really good. I wish the story was a little better, but overall, very solid.
Yeah, and I like this new thing now where since Prey, we've learned that Raphael Andolini, who had the pistol that's in Predator 2, it turns out everyone in the fucking galaxy gets to use this pistol except for Raphael Andolini. Because I remember he had a whole comic where they did his backstory that Prey ignored. And they're like, he's just some guy, and he actually taught a lady how to use the gun. I remember I won a bet with Movie Dumpster because they were like, Raphael Andolini's going to be in it. I'm like, I guarantee you he's like not going to use that gun. Like someone else is going to use the gun. And sure enough, I was right. The girl used the gun. But I did like that moment where they have like a translator for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you will get an item, you will get a weapon from your home world. And they give like the guy the musket, like the gun. And he's like, I don't know how to use this.
That was hilarious.
Like to them, they like don't understand the difference. They're like, yeah, here you go. This is the first Predator movie that used the word Yucha, which is what they're called in the comics. It was in the opening crawl. Yeah, I liked the very ending where you find out that they've been freezing these warriors. And one of them is Naru from Prey. Because at the very end of Prey, like the title sequence, we see that like ships came back for. But now it's like, do they do this for everyone? They didn't do this for Arnold.
Maybe they did after the credits.
Gary Busey, who I trust, didn't say they abducted him later.
You probably would have mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like and in the second movie, what's the actor's name? I don't know.
Danny Glover.
Yeah, Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Like, so they give him the gun at the end of the movie. So if this takes place after that, then I guess you could assume that they went back and froze him. But it's like, then why would they have given him the trophy and then left?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Never mind. We're going to come and freeze you.
Yeah, I wonder how he does get the gun.
Well,
back.
so I assume that takes place after this. Because when the
right,
gets
because
swallowed,
the earliest one is World War II. Okay, yeah, so then that does line up. So they got it from her. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
he must have been, so they froze him in like the 40s, and then unfroze him in maybe the 90s. This happens, and then they give the gun to Danny Glover.
Okay. We didn't see any of those Predators in this. So I'm wondering if they'll be, I hope they do a sequel to this. That would actually be fun. To get that tribe from Predator 2 to come back, see how that old one got the pistol. But yeah, I like the variety of the Predators. I thought they looked really cool and a little different. Not a lot of people were crazy about the Prey redesign. I wasn't the craziest about it, but I like what he was going for. So I like to see variety of them. Because again, they've been across the galaxy. They're on different planets. It's only like, it only makes sense that they would evolve and changed over time. Not all look the same. But yeah, Predator Kill Over Killers, solid outing. I'm excited for Badlands. How do you guys feel about Badlands?
Makes no difference to me, man. I got a lot of continuity to catch up on.
I'm excited for it. I thought Prey was good. I thought this was solid.
Yeah.
And I know it's silly to get excited about it, but like, you look at the Warlord Predator in this one, and you look at his cape, and it's like, are those xenomorph tails? They look like they might be. And then in Predator Badlands, the main character, she's a Weyland-Yutani android. You see the Weyland-Yutani logo everywhere. And like that lore stuff just gets me excited.
Apparently they said, he's like, I really wanted no human characters, but I knew we needed a robot. And he's like, well, I know a company that makes robots. So that's why I did Weyland-Yutani. I don't know. It's weird we got this. Apparently, maybe this guy was lying. I don't know. But a few years back, some guy said, like, no, Fox made an Alien versus Predator anime, and it's just sitting in a vault somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they greenlit this and just didn't release the Alien versus Predator anime that they have.
I mean, if it was of the quality of the previous Alien versus Predator content we've gotten, they might have watched it and been like, we're trying to reinvigorate the brand.
Yeah, I would love to see them do AVP right. which by the way, I've been watching the first Alien versus Predator movie because of this film. Because the twins keep seeing a picture of this when my sister turns on Disney Plus, and they recognize it from all the stuff down here. And they kept asking to watch Predator, and I went, well, there's only one that's not rated R. And I was like, well, obviously they'll get scared and make me turn it off. No, they made me watch it twice. So I've been watching Alien versus Predator, a movie I don't actually enjoy, because it's the only one that I could show them. So this isn't me being a bad uncle. I didn't expect them to like it. I thought they would get scared.
I'm just shocked.
I'm going to do my disappointed look.
At one point, Gabby is hiding her face when the Queen Alien comes, and I'm like, okay, I'll turn it off. And she's like, no, keep it on. But she's not watching. She just wants to listen to what's happening.
I feel like it's in good hands right now. Like, I like Trachtenberg, Alvarez for. I liked Alien. I liked it so much I can't even remember what it was called.
Alien Romulus. That was just like just the greatest hits of the first 4 movies, though.
Yeah, I know
they
people
need to do
say
something
that, but
different.
they are like my feeling on that is yes, they are the greatest hits. But the Xenomorph is a great foe, and I feel like every decade or so, it's worth seeing. How can we best render that monster with today's technology and just tell a solid story around that? It would be nice to see for the next one they do something a little bit different, but it's at least good enough that if those two filmmakers teamed up on some kind of Alien versus Predator,
that'd be good.
I'd be pretty excited for that.
I'd be pumped for that. But yeah, then Alien has a new TV show coming out, which I'm excited for. And Gil, I know you're excited for it too.
I'm quite excited.
You did God damn you.
Yeah, I was so excited. I went out to the crash site and got this Weyland-Yutani crate.
Kataboomies gets a show. The official Alien thing's getting Gil to promote them, and I get a fucking music video from Joey C. Anyway, guys, that was Predator Killer of Killers. Great time. Highly recommend it. Excited to see what comes next. Let's talk to Lucha Steve. Lucha Steve, how are you? I can't hear you.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys?
Steve. How are you?
I'm happy to be here for Pride Month.
No, we missed Pride Month. It's
late.
July.
You're late.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here for July month.
Yes.
America Month.
Actually, there is a black preacher that came up with the name for July, but that'll make Gil really put his head down in shame. So I'm not going to mention what he calls this month. He calls it White History Month. Anyway, and his thing says he always goes, July just feels white. I'm like, I don't know why that.
I got this crate here.
It makes
so
sense.
awesome.
You didn't say the name, but I figured out who you're talking about.
It's Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yeah.
Lucha Steve, what movies did you watch on the list?
I saw Thunderbolt, Ballerina, and Predator Killer of Killers.
Okay, what did you think of Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts I really liked. I thought it was a good return to form for Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, I've watched a lot of Marvel movies since the Endgame.
Yeah.
So, for all I know, they could be good, but I just haven't been interested in watching them. But
Thunderbolts.
Oh no, keep going. I got to look up the list to see if there's any.
Thunderbolts I really liked. Like you guys said, it looks like a movie. They like advertised the shit out of it, of just them hiring a bunch of like A24 people to work on this one.
Yeah.
And hey, the movie looks good, so they should do that forever now.
The freaking commercial was, hey, look, we made a real movie. And I'm like, that's not good advertising. It's basically admitting all your other movies look like shit.
The same thing when Kevin Feige comes out and says, we've decided from now on we're going to focus on quality.
But I really like those super teams that consist of like anti-heroes and bad guys. Yeah. I love the Suicide Squad. It sucks that it took until the second movie for us to get a good one.
But even Guardians of the Galaxy also started off the same, where they were all kind of shitheads. Where they became heroes.
So I really like the dynamic between the team. I thought Walker was like the best part of the Captain America Falcon
great.
show, or Falcon Winter Soldier show. So it was cool to see him again. I like Wyatt Russell. I'm biased because his dad is one of my favorite actors. So.
Yeah.
That was
They
a
were
great
great.
movie for Sons of Great Actors. Is that
Yeah.
Pullman also?
Oh yeah,
He was
Yeah.
great as a Sentry.
I like Lewis Pullman. I thought he was good in Maverick. He doesn't have like a huge part of Maverick, but I like him as kind of the nerdy pilot.
Yeah.
And
It's funny. I didn't know he was Bill Pullman's son, but now that it's been pointed out, it's all I can see. I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish I didn't get that pointed out to me, because now it's all I'm seeing.
Are you guys familiar with Sentry in the comics?
Okay, I forgot to mention during the review part, there is a thing where apparently he erased everyone's memory of him.
Yeah.
In the comics, and people were theorizing, are they going to do all these Marvel flashbacks where they insert him into famous movie moments? They ended up not doing that.
That would have been funny, but I do like the fact that they changed him, because I
Yeah.
feel like that just would have been a lot to throw in.
Mm.
So yeah, I like what they did with Sentry in the Void in this one.
Yeah. Plus, the newer X-Files seasons, one of the only good episodes was about the Mandela effect, and they did that. They're like, yeah, Motor, you had your friend Reggie. He was there for all your famous, and it's like classic X-Files episodes, and they just like green screened this guy Reggie into them, or whatever his name was. And he's like,
funny.
whoa, Motor, can you believe that? It was like really, it was actually, there were only 2 new good episodes of the last 2 X-Files seasons, and they were both comedy episodes written by the same guy.
Yeah, the were lizard episode.
Yeah, that was a great one. Okay, you said you saw, wait, was it Ballerina next?
Ballerina and Killers.
What did you think of Ballerina?
I liked it. I'm on like Joey C's side. I really like the action in the movie.
No.
I do like Anya de Armas, but I really feel like her character, they gave her nothing. The twist of her sister was like laughable. But the action scenes really carried it. I kind of like how the cult doesn't play by the rules. You mentioned Highlander earlier. It reminds me of the villain from the third one, who he's like, I don't care about the rules. And apparently all the rules are just agreements, and you can fight on holy ground and there's no effects. Anyways, enough about Highlander, but I like how one of my favorite parts, it's preceding the grenade scene, when Ana de Armas's character, she goes to talk to the gunsmith, and you feel like it's going to be like a classic John Wick exposition scene, but then they just immediately start shooting up the store.
That was good. That was one change I really liked. That was one change I liked. I was like, oh wow, that caught me off guard.
So I like how the cult are like this little splinter group that doesn't care about the honor of whatever the hell the assassins are called.
But Steve, how are there 2 Daniel Bernhardts? He died in the first one.
I had that same thought of like, is that the same character? Like, no, John broke his neck. I don't care. I like Daniel Bernhardt. I'm happy.
That happens to Indiana Jones. The same stuntman played like 3 guys. Stuntmen get reused. In
the big Nazi guy then becomes the big Indian guy.
Or Mad Max, where the villain from the first movie came back for for the fourth one, right?
Yeah, well, there's the pilot in the second movie is the pilot in the third movie, but it was like confusing because like, is it the same
guy,
but he's very similar?
What
did you think about Predators? Oh, sorry.
One thing I didn't like, one thing that bummed me out by Daniel Bernhardt's scene is he didn't throw a single kick, and it's like, come on, man, that's what you're known for, is your awesome kicks.
It
was just more of like a grappling fight, but overall the action was really good. The fucking flamethrower scene at the end was amazing.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
So good. I don't know why it was so good, but I was really, really enjoying it. But yeah, Lucha Steve, what do you got going on? I saw you were uploading videos, right?
I guess I'm not talking about Predator Killer.
Oh, sorry.
I say that as you're promoting me. It's like, fine, Tony, you want to promote me instead of talking about movies?
The reason I bring it up is I wanted to know, did you review Predator Killers on that channel?
I did not.
So you should talk about it here. See, you didn't let me finish. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Predator Killers I had a lot of fun with. I hope it becomes a recurring thing. I would like to see more of this, or even the final storyline be continued. Even though I'm pretty sure those guys are fucked. But I think it presents an interesting concept of like the fact that the predators, now they kidnap people to defeat them. So it kind of makes me wonder: is this how you get Arnold Schwarzenegger back into this franchise? You just be like,
it worked so well for Terminator.
No,
Yeah.
how about this is what these predators do?
yeah,
Not all of them do that.
Yes,
Be
some of them
funny.
collect DNA from
Yeah.
people with autism, and
Yes.
some of them freeze
Yeah.
good fighters.
And some of them played aliens, you know.
that kind of works too because they like how there's different predators. So there's the regular predators.
Yeah.
There's the ones in predators that like using like different technologies. There's the autism lovers, and then there's the hey, we want gladiatorial games.
You know what the
predators.
worst part is? Whenever I talk about the fourth movie, I have to always tell people, like, no, I'm not joking. The Predator was after autism. That isn't like an off-color joke. Like, that's literally what he was doing. He was trying to get autism. I'm not making any of this up.
They need to. Like ever since I've heard about this, I want to see him. I don't care in what way they do it. I want them to adapt the predators that are really into human warriors.
Mhm.
Because that was going to be a part of the predators. There's going to be like two predators that wanted to help the humans.
Military,
Yeah.
they-
They're like,
yeah.
hey, you guys kill us more than anyone. So it would be cool to have like U.S. military fanboy predators and something.
That'd be awesome. And if we do get female predators, I want the ones from the book where they're like giant and scary and the men are afraid of them. Because every other female predator we've seen, it's just like this predator is skinny and has boobs. I'm like, no, I want that they're like actually bigger and scarier. The reason the men are hunting is to like look cool to them. Like, here you go, giant monster. I brought you a skull.
I never even thought about that. I just assumed they were all like unisex, to be honest.
Well, the video game gave one with boobs for some reason. I don't know.
Oh,
But no, there are some books that say that they're like bigger and imposing, and the men are terrified of them.
so we have confirmed that the predators do not lay eggs
Oh, wait, where does
Other-
that confirm?
because they got boobs. Why would they need to feed their young?
We're not counting the video game.
But we could.
Who knows?
All
They
right.
could lay eggs.
What is the name of your channel? Where can we find it?
So just type in. I have it right at the bottom. Movie Buff 3000 reviews.
Yep.
My channel is like so fucking small right now that if you can't even find it, just type in Balance of Cinema Dogma. It's one of my recent episodes.
Okay.
I'm uploading instead of doing a real fourth episode. I'm just uploading a review that me and my co-host did of Madam Web.
Oh, Jesus! I
But
had to review that movie twice in 1 year and do a commentary track. Jesus.
I did a review of it a year ago and I haven't been able to listen back to it. But the next week, because Superman's coming out, me and my co-host, we did Superman 4. Quest for
Oh,
Peace.
nice. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by. I gotta get
Bye,
other people in
everybody.
here.
See you
Bye.
soon.
Subscribe.
Bye, Joey. Bye, Gil.
Bye. Stay, man.
Bye-bye.
Renan, hello. Saw nothing, just saying hello.
Oh, hey, I wasn't expecting you. Saw nothing, just saying hello. You'll have to pardon me. I'm a little drunk here. I've had a few too many screwdrivers tonight.
God damn.
You know what I mean? Prop comedy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there
Nice.
more? I feel like there's more coming.
No, sir. I'm actually hammered.
As a $10 patrons, check out the live stream Tony did last night, the Jurassic Park fan films. It was really cool, especially the part when he screamed like a little girl because a bug went on his
I did see
microphone
that.
arm.
Yeah.
Hold on. I did clip that. I can pull that up. Hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
fuck yeah. We need to watch it.
So it rained a lot here.
It's like the crickets in the wall that one time, Tony.
Not crickets.
Yeah, it rained here. This time it was like some people call it an earwig. Sometimes we call it those
Earwig.
pincher bugs. Yeah.
They got the
And
pinch on the butt.
in the middle of the stream, I
look it
noticed
up
it crawling on my mic stand. I'm uploading the clip now.
Oh my god, I would shit if I saw that. I noticed you just threw it away. You didn't even like try to kill it. So
I
now
lost
it's like
it.
it's in your bedroom now.
It's not in my
They're
bedroom. No,
harmless.
they don't.
They're harmless to people.
I think I see it back there.
Don't say that right now. It's freezing uploading. I don't know why it's freezing.
Well, anyway,
thank you
they're
for
harmless
being
to
part
people.
of that stream. Sorry.
They're harmless to people except for the joke I'm going to call is that the old wives' tales that they go into your ears and lay eggs kind of like the worms from SETI Alpha 6 and Star Trek 2, Electric Boogaloo. And that's all I had to say. Good night. I'm drunk.
Good night. Get sober, buddy.
Was he actually drunk? I don't know.
I think he's having a great night. Like, he looks
It's
so
possible.
happy.
This
He
is still
was having a good
processing. The
time.
video is processing. You guys will see me screech like a little girl.
I'm so
and-
excited. I watched it like 40 fucking times, dude. You literally go, yeah, so anyways.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Gil, you haven't seen this yet?
No.
Okay, here it is. You're gonna have to find. Oh my god! Ah! What is that? There was a bug crawling on the arm. It scared the shit out of me.
You
You're
know,
gonna have to find.
marketing campaign for Superman, where like every clip is him screaming his head off.
Yeah.
That kind of fit really well, actually.
Why did you switch the scenes before you fucking flung it away?
Oh, wait. What did you say?
Like you switched it to full screen.
Oh no, I
before
did that. I did that in editing.
Oh,
I did that in
it's
editing.
okay.
Live, it didn't look like that.
Yeah, okay.
Live, it was that first shot the whole time.
I think you should play it again. I think we should watch it one more time.
You're gonna have to find. Oh my god! Ah! Just that part. Just that.
It's the fucking greatest thing ever. Dude, I have to go there on Saturday. Please, for the love of God, find that thing and kill it.
No,
before I
I'm
get
running
there.
so we be getting a lot of like really bad storms, and whenever we get a shit ton of water, we usually get any bug that loves water down here. Even though it doesn't flood, they just like the humidity. So I've been running. I remember to run the dehumidifier. I'm running it every night before you come here. Okay.
Thank you.
Tony
That's-
hates water. He puts out fires.
We have another patron who keeps coming in and out, and his camera's off. Do you want to come back? Do you want to come on, Quarter Cab?
I'm here.
Hello.
Quarter cab skateboarding.
What did you see on the list?
Just Thunderbolts, except I also saw Lilo and Stitch, but that was 20-something years ago.
Good.
What did you think of Thunderbolts?
It was awesome. It blew my mind, the whole thing. No, I'm glad it was better than what I was expecting.
Hmm.
Daredevil, shaky, MCU stuff's been very not up my alley lately. But this was nice and refreshing.
Real quick, was Loki season 2 any good? Because I enjoyed the first season and people love that, and I didn't hear shit about season 2.
I don't think I actually finished it. I think I got bored by like episode 3, probably.
I don't think it was like way worse than season 1 or anything. I think if you liked season 1, it's fine.
Well, that's the weird thing is I just didn't hear anything. I didn't hear that it sucked. I didn't hear it was great. It just was a nothing. I'm like, did that show? I keep forgetting they're even, and I like season 1. I'm like, I keep forgetting that even came out.
Yeah, it's weird too because most of the new Marvel shows don't do multiple seasons. That's like one of the few.
Yeah, that was bizarre. Was it all about Kang? Wasn't it about like Kang?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I think so.
I can't remember it at all. I know I watched it a couple times, but
it just wasn't. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like stand out, good. Nothing happened. I mean. And then you got Ironheart right now. Everyone's pretending to like that, but
they are. I haven't seen it. Adam is shitting on it constantly. So.
It's pretty great. I love watching his recaps. But now Mephisto's in it, I guess, so that's fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
I hope they find a way to make him say "my wife" at some point.
My wife.
My wife.
That's my only hope for the character.
Well, he's going to say to Spider-Man,
forward,
I want your wife, because that's what happened in the comics. Oh, the way he's not married in the movies. Never mind.
They should change the name of the next Spider-Man to No More Homies as well.
How sad was it? Were you rocked to your core when Taskmaster was shot in the head?
Who?
Yeah.
Lady Taskmaster was not ever something I was a big fan of.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine if you do it right, but they just kind of
the weirdest
half-assed it.
The weirdest part of that is like how much Taskmaster was in like games and shows before that. Like it was in the Spider-Man game, which was
he
huge.
was,
and it was regular Taskmaster. So like, why even pushing this character so much to one, make it a woman, two, make them basically mute? Like the Taskmaster of Black Widow had nothing to do with the comic character, which wouldn't be a problem if they weren't shoving the character in so many other things. It's like, well, you clearly wanted us to like this guy and get excited, and then you gave us something that was nothing at all like it.
I think
it was like the first level in that amazing Marvel Avengers game.
Yeah, he was in that piece of shit. What'd you say, Gil?
Well, I think they're like, people didn't love the character when she was introduced in Black Widow. Yeah. And I feel like right now we're in the new era where Marvel's decided quality. And so I think they were hoping, like, look, everyone, we also hated the character, right? It's cool.
Well, that was the weird thing, was just them doing it in the first place. It was counter everything else that they were doing with the character. That was the weird part of it. But yeah, it still worked out. All
right. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. Good night, guys.
Right. All right. Thanks for signing up. Thanks for being a $10 patron.
You're welcome.
Awesome. They're my favorite people. All right, guys, get your last minute super chats in here. Let's go through these. Wait. We already read that one. Okay. Curio for $4.99. What about reviewing all the other Highlander movies, plus director's cut of 2 and straight to video 5th film? I will fucking do that. Cody Bishop, $1.99. Remember the Soof movie, Keanu?
Yeah. Next. I remember.
Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
Is that code?
I remember.
The Soof.
remember.
Just to leave.
Just leave. The Soof movie? That's
3 O's.
That's not another thing. Okay, thank you, Cody Bishop, for spending $2 on that.
Send another super chat clarifying.
Yeah, send another super chat clarifying. Loved Killer of Killers. Oh, this is Anthony Hudak for $5. Which Predator design was your favorite? Saw concept art for the pilot Predator, where he had a Xeno space jockey flight suit. Well, I'm glad they didn't do that, because I hate Prometheus and I don't like to think of it as a flight suit. I like to think of it that was their actual body. Let me see here. Hold on. So that was first one, and he's there. He just looks like a bigger roided version of the regular Predator.
Notable because he doesn't wear any kind of armor or anything, except for the gauntlet.
Wait, no, he had a mask.
He had a mask, yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he was bare, except for the gauntlet. He was my favorite, especially because I just loved. It looked so satisfying to pull that lever back.
Yeah,
every time I wanted to charge up his punch. I love that.
This
the
one
pilot one was sick because of the eye thing, but I think it was the fugitive one.
Yeah, this one looked basically just like a Predator, just with shorter top tusks. Yeah, this is the most radical redesign of them.
The pilot one is sick, man.
I didn't want to go pilot and then the bad guy at the end. I thought he was cool too.
What about the stealthy one?
That was the ninja one.
That was the ninja one, right?
That one right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I liked his ninja style mask too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't really lose with
slits for the eyes.
Oh, and I loved he had the stick where you would twist it and then the blades would come out.
Yeah,
I love anything mechanical with their weapons was just really cool.
And I love that they're doing the thing that Prey did, where it's just like, they'll retool their arsenal based on what they're fighting. Like in Prey, he wasn't using any lasers and stuff until the fur trappers came. He's like, all right, I can use all this cool shit now. But yeah, this guy looks cool. I would have liked to have seen more of him actually doing something. Okay. Pico Jet Black for $10. Hey, Tony. Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address on November 19th, 1863 at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Since you fought in the Civil War for one of the sides, what was it like to listen to Lincoln? I kept yelling, traitor! No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I'm not that old. I don't think anyone on earth is that old. But I have been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So, you're kind of close. I have been to Gettysburg, just not during the end of the Civil War, you dumb asshole.
Hey, that guy sends a lot of super chats.
Yeah, and they're always really mean. And he's got more, by the way. Fury Pilot 379 499. Only good uncles try to intentionally scare small children.
Yeah.
Isn't that what got Catzilla canceled?
Shut up, you got canceled. I was like, okay, the first scene with like the predators attacking the guys when they're invisible, they're gonna get scared and be like, turn it off, and then they didn't. I'm like, at some point they'll get scared, and they asked me to turn it off. Actually, no, it was the Queen. I started right when the Queen gets unfrozen. I'm like, this is gonna rock their world. But no, they kept going. I'm like, psychopaths. What did I do? Girk Pectus for $5. Did you know a sandwich helped cause World War I? No joke. That's some real life Final Destination for you.
Ferdinand or whatever his name was.
No, that was World War II. Was Franz Ferdinand, right?
One, baby.
According to my Google search, that story isn't true.
Ah.
Well, I'll report back next time. I'll do some research.
Go on Reviewing History, say something offensive, and talk about it there.
Yeah, I didn't say anything offensive. I just sat awkwardly while that guy ranted on the phone.
That guy was very Catholic. FICO Jet Black for $5. Please review Cat in the Hat, Ready to Rumble, the first craft only. But wait a minute, the first craft only? Well, what am I going to do with all these copies of the Craft Legacy? I don't understand. What am I supposed to do with these now? Wishmaster 3 and
Craft sequel.
Wishmaster 3 and 4, which is funny because I got the Wishmaster Blu-ray set finally. So I already owned all 4, but now I have them like on Blu-ray. They look great. Well, the first one looks great. The other ones look like Wishmaster 3 and 4. Rat Race and the worst Michael Bay Transformers. I meant to do that with Jess. I hit her up a few months ago, but she was too busy. I haven't talked to her in a bit. Maybe she's still down to do it. Cat in the Hat was on the list for last year, and then we took it off.
I fucking love that movie. God damn. Hey, got nothing to...
Yeah, so Cat in the Hat was on the list. I took it off because I was like, because I think kids' movies were bombing around that time on my channel. So I'm like, we're not going to do this one. Ready to Rumble.
I covered Puss in Boots 2 on my channel, kids movie.
People loved that movie.
People loved it. Yeah, the video didn't do well at all. But like my friends, as far as I know, they don't really watch my channel or anything. But like when I came out with that video, I got several text messages from people who were like, I loved your Puss in Boots 2 video. Like it was a great video. I don't know what it was about it, but
it was weird. I was getting yelled at by fans for doing Back to the Future live, and I'm like, guys, comedy reviews have been flopping all year long. I have to do this. That's why Predator Killer of Killers is live. People are like, it should have been a thing. I'm like, animated. I'm like, I couldn't get Mask of the Phantasm to do super well. You thought Predator Killer of Killers was going to do well? All right, we'll let him out.
I meant to say I like it because it's so bad. But the PS2 game is pretty good. I'll tell you that.
Are you excited for the new Cat in the Hat starring, I don't know, what is it, Bill Hader?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Get it.
Well, as someone who watched the new Grinch, I'm not excited.
No, it's the same style. No, just you dirty hoe.
I hear Michael Bay's coming back for more Transformers.
Why? His last one bombed too. I know the other two bombed, but his bombed too. Pico Jet Black for $5. Joey Sean Gill, what are your thoughts on Tony's stories when he allegedly was in the Black Panther Party and being a bodyguard for Malcolm X? None of that's true, so they have no thoughts on it.
You got the muscles for it.
You know, you can conveniently like, I didn't see that super chat.
Okay. Hot take. That fly was racist against Italians. It was an earwig, you racist. Pico Jet Black for $2. Hot take. Tony's prejudice against flies. Earwig. Daniel Fall for $2. Everyone say America like the manly man you are. America. Gil, that was, you weren't even trying with that one.
No.
No.
It's not July 4th yet. 2
We're
hours
on the
from now.
eve of July 4th. The spoof movie, Keanu with Jordan Peele. Oh, with the cat. I never actually watched it. I never watched that one. Was that one good? The Keanu movie?
I don't even know what this is.
Oh,
it's actually called Keanu.
Yeah, Jordan Peele wrote it. It had stars Key and Peele. They didn't direct it though. Someone else directed it.
Oh, I do remember this.
And they like find a cat, and then like they try to save the cat. Oh, the director of this went and did The Machine afterwards. Ugh.
Oh God.
Oof.
That was horrible.
Oh, he did a lot of Key and Peele skits. Maybe that's how he got the Keanu job. No, I didn't see Keanu. I thought the trailer was funny, but like not enough to see the movie. Okay. Go Jet Black for $2. People are mean to Tony because he's funny looking. Son of a bitch.
They're just jealous.
They're just jealous.
Of your muscles, man.
Kiryu Pilot for $3.79 for $4.99. Illumination isn't doing Cat in the Hat. It's WB, so it might be good. Okay, I'll give it a
did
shot.
see that on.
It's true because
Twitter.
WB, if it's not good, they won't even release it.
Yeah, so that's something. That's something. What the fuck? Do we have a spammer in the chat that's just not being moderated by YouTube?
Yeah. There's some good stuff in there though.
Wait, did you say that? Did anyone see this earlier? I don't have the act.
Oh yeah, I was watching it. It disappeared after a while. I just assumed somebody took care of it.
Yeah, where's the moderator? Come on. Get on
Me.
this.
I'm the moderator.
I don't even know if I have moderators to be honest.
You don't. So you should just make me one so I can fucking get in there. And go, hey, get out of there.
No, I'm not doing that. Well, okay. Whoever, I can't even see them in the chat. Well, now that browser's frozen. Awesome. Everyone ignore that guy. Ignore that guy. Just ignore him. Jesus Christ.
You okay, Tony? What's going on?
Yeah,
everything started freezing.
What's going on?
Everything was freezing for a minute. Am I
play
good?
The music video again, quick.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Wait, I don't have it saved on the thing.
The spam went away pretty quickly when I saw it, so I just assumed it got taken care of.
Okay, maybe on StreamYard it still shows up. Plague Jet Black for $5. Joey sees bicep just attracted more women than Tony has in the last 10 years. Ooh, please ignore that thing about Tony and give him a date.
That's my wife.
Tony can have all the dates he wants. If he doesn't have one, it's because he doesn't want one.
You see her chin? Her chin is almost as big as your head. Good.
Okay, so Gil, do you have anything coming up on your channel? What do you got going on?
MCU timeline update.
Whoa!
I'm adding Ironheart, Agatha all along, all the Defenders, because I added Daredevil last time because Born Again was coming back, and everyone was like, how can you bring Daredevil into the timeline, but not Iron Fist, Luke Cage? And I was like, that's true. So I'm doing it now. So I'm adding about an hour and a half. It's going to be, I think it'll be 8 hours long now.
Jeez, what's YouTube's cutoff?
12 hours. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do at that point.
You're like, I hope they stop making these movies. What did I say? Oh, you have to, we talked about this last year. You have to include the Mean Girls musical movie because Megan Thee Stallion's in it and she's in She-Hulk.
That's right. Yeah. So that's already in there.
Okay. So the Mean Girls movie. Okay.
That's in there.
Please for me and be like, and then Megan Thee Stallion did a video about some high school drama.
There are inside jokes in there that nobody will get except for specific people. And I can't reveal any of them. I'll tell you offline.
Okay. How do you know I'm not going to watch the whole movie, you asshole? I mean, the whole video.
Because you wouldn't get, these are jokes you wouldn't even understand. You have to be like a specific person.
By the way, I realized the only Marvel movie I haven't seen is The Marvels.
The Marvels.
And I'm trying to think. Eternals, Shang-Chi, and The Marvels are the three that I never saw in theaters. I saw the other two at some point.
Shang-Chi. He's doing the next Spider-Man movie, which is going to have John Bernthal in it as Punisher, which that's interesting.
Wait, the director's doing it?
The director of Shang-Chi is doing it, and then Punisher is going to be in the movie.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me know the new Spider-Man's going to suck. Okay. Joey C. Hi.
I misspoke before. I didn't say your head. I said your bed. Your bed is so big. Not that I've been in it, but I've seen it. And not up close.
Yeah.
But I've seen it just passing by. Not that I
Joey
was looking. But
Joey C, what do you have going on?
Well, I just dropped a new music video just about an hour ago. And then I got a new boring day in the life coming out. It's very boring. I just reviewed also the Restaurants and Taverns in the Wonderful World of Oblivion remastered. So if you want to check out the service there, there's no bathrooms. There's no bathrooms in the World of Oblivion. And believe me, I looked. Fucking upsetting. It's really
what are
upsetting.
These people doing? Just shitting in the street? What the hell?
That's
going
what
on
I'm
here?
saying. They're just going. They don't have a place to poop when they go into these taverns.
Not an outhouse? Come on.
Not a single.
It's like when you go to a
thing.
bar and they have one bathroom, and it's like your entire service is about having people ingest liquid. So you know people are going to need it.
Yeah.
You eat the food, you digest the food, and then you poop the food out. Boy, I had to fill out a lot of paperwork for this fucking world. Let me tell you. Get sick of it.
By the way, thank you for reviewing the other Casper movie and not the real Casper movie, because I did that for its 30th anniversary.
Oh, I wouldn't step on your toes, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had to
would
review
completely
fucking the other one.
Although I did like that I could, because people were telling me about Spirit at beginning, not be messing up the continuity and everything. I'm like, I don't really want to watch that movie. I didn't like it as a kid. And I'm like, oh, Joey C just put it out. Let's do this.
So bad. They had a fucking like a Gary Busey Black Sheep ripoff. Like literally. It's wild, man.
Okay. And one last one from Pico Jet Black. Tomorrow I will watch Independence Day, #America. I think you all should watch. Not extended cut. You can skip that extended cut. And definitely don't watch Independence Day Resurgence. Skip over that bad boy.
Watch it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. You're all great. Have a happy 4th, everyone. Have a happy weekend. I hope I get to see a lot of you at VHS Fest. But yeah, that is it from us. I'm going to end that stream now. Goodbye.